Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another commentary. This game I'm playing as Shako jungle. This is a replay commentary, so I'm not playing this live. I'm looking back at a game that I played previously, and I'm just going to analyze this game and talk about it and show you how to play Shako jungle. Now, this was actually a game that I played live on stream, and recently I've done a video detailing what to do when you're playing versus a Shako. So how to play versus him, basically how to effectively play versus him, how to not get dominated by a Shako, because it's very frustrating to play versus and he can be very effective in the right hands as well. So this video is going to show you a good way to be playing him in the early game specifically, because a lot of my other commentaries with Shako I tend to not do so much early and moreover be confident about going into that late game. Now, first thing I want to say is this box here that I've put him down is for scouting, just so they don't come in, well, so that I can see them coming in to prevent them from invading me and from disrupting my boxes. Also, this right here is the second box that I put down onto the red camp. The first box I put down at around 50 seconds. Now, your boxes last for 1 minute and you want to stack them at the buff that you're going to take away first. So if your boxes last for 1 minute and the buff spawns at 155, you want to put down that first box at around 55 seconds. Now, some people say that, oh, you should put it down at like 1 minute because obviously you have to factor in the time and that it's going to take attacking. That's not true. Your boxes last for 1 minute, that's the trigger time, and then they will last for an additional 5 seconds on top of that because so in total they can last for 1 minute 5 seconds. But I actually made a mistake this game. I put down my first box at 50 seconds. This is because I wasn't paying attention. I was reading the stream chat or something. I don't know. But yeah, so as you saw just there, one of my boxes died. I wasted one of my boxes. So just taking away this buff here. For runes and masteries as well, guys, they'll be in the description as always. But my runes, I believe I'm just like an AD page. AD raids, AD quints, armor yellows, magic just blues. My masteries, I think I'm like 2190. I could be something like 2253. I can't quite remember what it is, but I'll screenshot my masteries and I'll put that in the description too. Now, right now we can see there's a fight happening down bot lane. Now, this is very interesting because what this means is that Vi has actually got involved in this fight as well. So this means that if I can see Vi around this bot lane area, then I know that, well, I can see where she is. I know where she is, and I know specifically that she's not going to be at her red buff here. So if she is fighting bot lane and she gets 2 kills or gets involved in 2 kills, she's not going to be around at her red buff. So I can take this away and I can get this for free. There's no challenge here whatsoever because Vi, like I say, she was doing her stuff, but no fear, no problem. So I take away that red buff, and this is quite important as well on Shako, is you want to be getting your advantages early. So if I hadn't invaded this red buff, there was really no reason for me to not go here. Because Vi was so out of position, there was no risk involved whatsoever. My lanes are also quite strong. Yasuo and Akali, they're both not amazingly strong early on into the game. But Jarvan Kennen, Jarvan is a lot stronger than Kennen. So my lanes should be able to help me at least. And so I just take away that red buff. That's all, that's free, that's great. And now I'm taking away this blue buff as well. But without smite, obviously it takes me kind of long to do that. But I get it down eventually, and I'm just working my way through this jungle here. Now, this is in my, like the video I mentioned previously, which I will link to this in the description, by the way, about how to play versus Shako. I mentioned that Shako is always trying to disrupt your jungle, specifically with your buffs, so you should always get to your buffs on time. That's not, Vi obviously failed that when she did her level 2 bot lane, but it was probably worth it because she got 2 kills out of it. And right here, I'm actually just stalking this Vi down. I'm trying to see where she is. I'm trying to get a kill off onto her because I know that she's probably going to be maybe not a lower level than me necessarily, but at least she's not going to have her red buff. I know that's for sure because I took her red buff, and I can definitely easily fight her in this early stage of the game. So I'm just kind of, I sat in this bush here and I put a box down just to, I'm going to pause this real quick, just to, if she face checked me, I would have this box to help me. And then I jumped over the walls to see whether she was doing golems, and then I put a box down here. I'm just trying to go really aggressive in her jungle. But right now we can see that Vi is actually ganking this Akali in the mid lane. But Akali can buy herself a lot of time because of her shroud. I see this and I come in for a perfect counter gank. Get in here, lob my shiv at Yasuo, and then try to beat up this Vi. Although, not going to get this Vi, obviously. And she actually turns around and does a lot of damage to me, which is pretty good actually. Like, this means that it's now kind of hard for me to put pressure elsewhere on the map because she just chunked me. But still, I'm now looking to do even more stuff. Like I say, this is all about early aggression on Shako. You want to be doing this. He's very good at having early game aggression. So I go in even on this health. Like, this is very, very low health for me to have, and it's kind of... It's not that risky, but it's kind of risky for me to be here. Because if I get caught in a bubble, for example, then I'm going to die instantly. Especially when I've deceived into this lane. If I deceive into the lane, that means that I don't have my deceive to escape. And I don't have flash when I'm playing Shako. I take smite ignite. So if I get caught, and I have already used my deceive to engage, then I'm going to die instantly. So I don't want that to happen. Now, this game's also a pretty good display of how you can be counter-ganking quite effectively to really turn the tides, I guess you could say, in games. Because you'll see it quite a lot. I try to counter-gank this via wherever possible. But now I just bought my Spirit Stone and my boots. Now, this is not a very aggressive buy at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's quite a passive buy. Boots are quite nice for lane ganking. They're good for just being aggressive as well. But your Spirit Stone doesn't help you in any PvP context. The only way it helps you is indirectly, to the extent where you can clear camps faster, so that you can therefore go and gank lanes quicker as well. And the fact that you will have the regen so that you take less damage in the jungle. Now, probably the biggest question that I get asked, which I'll get onto after this gank here. This is a pretty standard like gank path for Shako, is that most people, when ganking, he gets away on really low health, which is unfortunate, but still, most people when they're ganking, if you're not playing Shako, you would walk around here through this bush. But with Shako, you always kind of want to be jumping over walls. You can do that quite a lot because of his deceive, and it's really hard to spot those out. It's a really good way to be ganking. So if you can be ganking over walls, excuse me, and this is another good spot. If Kennen was pushed up here, then this would be a good place for me to gank. If I jumped over this wall and then walked through the river, that would be another good spot. Again, I could do that from bot lane here too. Ganking over walls is very effective when you're playing Shako, or you can just blitz it like I'm doing here. If people are really overextended, then they're just free kills. So I deceive into the lane and place this box down here, which is really important because this box would potentially cut off the Nami and the Vayne from escaping if they ran through the bush. Now, obviously it wasn't used in the end, but potentially that's what it was there for. Now, I want to talk about the biggest question I get asked, and that is whether you go Mad Res into Wriggles, into Feral Flare, or whether you go Elder Lizard. Personally, I think Feral Flare is a very good item on Shako, but I don't like getting Wriggles because I don't think you want to be playing that way. I think you want to... I'm going to pause this as well because I want to analyze this just a tad. I don't think you really want to be playing the Wriggles playstyle, which is where you're farming the jungle a lot and you're getting a lot of stacks. People do go Feral Flare and Shako, however, and it can work. Elder Lizard means you can have more... You get more combat stats worth for your gold. You can have more pressure early. But really, you can get Feral Flare if you want to, but I would always recommend to go Elder Lizard. Just... That's my opinion, but... Yeah, it can go either way, I suppose. So right here, we decided to invade this area here against Vi. The reason why we're invading here is because we are stronger as a 2v2. Vi and Yasuo versus Akali and Shako. I'm the Shako, just in case you guys weren't aware of that. I'm pretty sure you already knew that though. We're a lot stronger. The biggest reason for that is because Akali's level 6 and Yasuo is level 5. Now, if everyone here was level 6, if Vi was level 6, if I was level 6, Yasuo level 6, Akali level 6... If everyone here was level 6, the edge would probably go over to the enemy team, actually. Maybe it would actually be kind of 50-50, but if Vi could ulti someone, then that would also trigger Yasuo's ulti as well. Although you can trigger it off Vi's Q as well, but it's a lot easier to do with your ult. But the reason like I said, the reason we're invading is because we just got a nice kill onto the bot lane, and this Yasuo can't contest this. So this is kind of free for us. So we go in here. Now, this is pretty obvious. Like, when you see Vi just walked into the bush and you're kind of face checking her, it's pretty obvious that she might be up to something sneaky, i.e. charging her Q up and aiming at me, which is why I do a nice swag step dodge there. So now I'm just fighting her, and right here you can tell I'm getting low on health, like that's no secret. So I'm just buying time. I deceive so she can't see me, and then I come out of the deceive and we kill her. It's pretty easy, like just to buy yourself some time, to delay, by deceiving and going invisible. Now, this is a really, really good lantern by Thresh. Kennen comes in and just completely wastes his ulti. He dies instantly. And now with this blue buff should be respawning soon, but because Vi did that fight at level 2 here, I don't think she cleared out her minis. So it may take a little longer to respawn, which you can see. Oh, it doesn't need to say it's up. I'm pretty sure it is up though. That might be a spectator bug, because these minis went up before. It took maybe like a minute later to respawn than it should have done. So I don't know when it's gonna respawn, because she did a level 2 fight. So I'm just like, well, I'm low on health, I'm low on mana, I'm just gonna get out of here. So that's what I do. I get out of here. I buy some wards. I buy the components of my Elder Lizard item, and I'm just taking away this red buff. And now I'm going to move on. Probably take my blue buff away here as well. Well, I was going to take my blue buff away, but as I was saying before, the power of counter-ganking. I saw Vi was coming in on the mid lane here on the minimap, so I changed my route here as well. I'm going to just rewind just a tad, just so you can see what happens. But I'm running through here, la-di-da, I'm going to go to my blue buff, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, here comes Vi. And I see this happening, and I'm just like, oh crap, I'm instantly running over to try and help this Vi. You always, excuse me, you always want to have a good awareness on the minimap so that you can counter-gank. Counter-ganking is extremely effective. If I wasn't getting these counter-ganks off, then this Akali, sorry, and this Vi would be absolutely destroying Akali, and Akali would be so far behind, and probably me as well, obviously, because I wouldn't be getting the kills with the counter-ganks. It's really important that you can counter-gank wherever possible, because not only do you negate any advantages the enemy team may have, but a lot of times you actually come out on top of these counter-gank fights, and if that is the case, then not only do you negate their advantages, but you also give yourself advantages. So the swing is really huge. So that's what you want to be doing if you can. Now I'm just taking away this blue buff here. I'm kind of low on health. Do I have any potions? No, I have no potions. I'm low on health. Ganking on this health is very risky, and so I'm just going to recall, and I'm going to buy some things and get my Elder Lizard, get a pink ward, get a green ward, get some potions, and I'm going to roll out. Now we saw Vi around the side here as well, like she's come back for more. So I'm keeping my eye on her, but I'm also taking away this camp here because I can see that I'm very close to my level 8. So I just want to kill these race here so that I get level 8, so that I get another point in one of my abilities. As you can see, my skill order here, I max my E, that's for increased burst damage on Shako. And then whether you get your Q or your W second is really up to you. If you go for a heavy AD build, you can actually max your Q second. But I personally would always recommend to max your W second, because then it increases the fear duration. Also makes you clear the jungle faster, because your boxes will therefore do more damage. But right now, I am vulturing around this dragon. Whenever you're playing Shako, you always want to have good jungle objective control, whether that's buffs, whether that's Baron, whether that's dragon. You want to have good control over these things. Specifically with the dragon and the Baron, the reason why you want to have good control is because you can do it very easily with your clones. Now I did get some help from from Thresh here, which made that a lot easier, but still at level 8 when it's only the jungler and support, that's still pretty impressive to take away. So, you know, just always be aware for situations where you can take away the dragon. And also you can take away Baron quite early if you have someone who can help you do it, whether that's an AD carry, Blade Ruin King, or say I had if I had the Yasuo mid, even to be fair, Kai's pretty good at taking away Baron as well, but not as good as like an AD mid laner would be. You can get some really sneaky Baron plays off if you are aware of these. So our bot lane has rotated over to mid to push down the tower, but that also means that we're going to lose this tower here. Now if I were trying to defend this tower, oh excuse me, our voice is going already. If I were trying to defend this tower, I would just die instantly, because this tower is gone, it's dead. Like there's no point trying to defend that. So I need to wait for my allies to come in so that then I can jump in and just slow them down. Like I don't need to fight these guys at all. Like there's no point in me fighting them, because, well, firstly, I'm going to die if I try to straight out fight them. All I need to do is slow them down so that my allies can get in and we can pick up the kill. So we get the kill on Vayne, I slowed her down, and now we can push this lane down as well and get the tower. Am I going to help get the tower too? Yes, I am. And I'm going to get, oh wow, okay. This is kind of, it's a bit greedy by me, but it's also kind of unfortunate that I happen to be sitting in this bush. But this is quite funny actually. So instead of just using my ult and running away, Vi kills my clone, which then the explosion clone damage aggroes the tower, and I get a tower shot, and the tower shot kills me. That is quite a funny play, and quite unfortunate really, to be honest, but Still, we tried to get the tower. It wasn't working. Vi's done really well this game to try and keep our team in it. Like, you can't really ask for more than this. Who's going to win? Ah, they take each other down. That's sad. But now I've got my Moby Boots as well. Moby Boots I always consider... I think it's like the really semi-core on Shako depending on your playstyle. If you play like I like to play, I consider Moby Boots almost a core item on him. But I consider Moby Boots pretty much a core item on a lot of junglers that I play. If you want to be aggressive and make loads of plays, Moby Boots are the way to go. Also see that I swapped out my sweeper, my warding trinket for a sweeper trinket here. That just means that I can sweep wards down so I can make some more aggressive plays. You kind of want to be doing this during the mid game when lane phase is over, because sweepers, denying vision is often more impressive than giving vision for yourself. Especially because more wards will be flying around here in the mid game too. So yeah, I've got my Moby Boots here. The best thing about Moby Boots is it allows you to travel further distances during your invisibility. Like, you go invisible and you're deceive, but you're moving really, really quickly, so you actually travel a lot further in your deceive. And also it allows you to do some really, and what this is kind of a connected point, is it allowed you to do some really, really good, whoops, that was the wrong button, allowed you to do some really, really good lane ganks as well, because you travel quite far without them seeing you. Now this is a pretty good example of how to execute really, really solid tower dives on Shako. You can see this Kennen's a pretty juicy target, but there's no way we can just flat out tower dive him, because Jarvan and Akali are not tanky enough to do this, and Kennen has his ulti, and Kennen's ult is very good against, you know, for locking people down. So I use my ult, and what I'm going to do here is, with my clone, I'm just going to tank up loads and loads of tower shots. What this means is it allows my allies to get in and do the damage. My allies can get in, they can hit that Kennen, and they don't have to tank tower just trying to get in range. It means that they can walk up to Kennen and position correctly for the tower dive, and then only take tower aggro when they are doing the killing. That's quite an important... So look at this Akali's health, like, it's kind of low. Maybe 2 more tower shots, she would have died. If she was tanking tower while she was trying to get close to Kennen, she would have died, like, no question. So using your clone in those situations is really, really important. Makes for some really easy tower dives. And if I had been in range, like if my clone had then started to attack Kennen and I was in range of the tower would not focus my clone, or it would shift focus from the clone onto me. Like, you do draw tower aggro away from your clone, but in that situation, like just happened in that tower dive top, the clone just initially drew aggro, but there was nothing else to take aggro away from it. But as soon as Akali started dealing damage, or if my clone had dealt damage to him and I was in range of the tower, like I say, the tower aggro switches from your clone. So it's not 100% easy to just let your clone soak up loads of tower shots. It's only really good for positioning tower dives. But right now as well, for my build, I didn't really mention about my Vamp Scepter. The reason I've gone Vamp Scepter is primarily because I wanted to build into a Hydra. Or maybe a Blade of the Ruined King. Like, Blade of the Ruined King and Hydra are both very good items on Shako. As you can see there, that kill, by the way, I didn't really talk too much about, because I just mopped up a kill because Yasuo overextended after this Vi ganked Kali again. But Blade of the Ruined King and Hydra are 2 very good items on Shako. Whichever one you go really depends on what you want to do in the game. If you want to 1v1 people, then Blade of the Ruined King is the best way to go about that. If you want to play like an assassin and, you know, just split push and 1v1 people, like I say, Blade of the Ruined King is very good for that. It's also, another reason why it's very good is because your clone applies on-hit effects. So Blade of the Ruined King, you kind of get even more effect from in that regard too. However, Hydra is also very nice on him because it gives you so much AD. And if it's just for split pushing, like, I know I said Blade of the Ruined King is good for split pushing. That's mostly just because you can 1v1 people while you are split pushing. There's no point in split pushing if someone can just come along and kill you. But Hydra is very good for actually pushing waves down. Blade of the Ruined King is not as good for that. It's okay because it gives you attack speed, but it's not as good as Hydra. So whichever one you want to go for really depends on what you want to do in that game. If you want to 1v1 people, if you want to be an assassin, go Blade of the Ruined King. If you want to split push, go Hydra. Whichever one is completely up to you. I would say if you've gone for Feral Flare, then, to be honest, again, I don't know what I'm trying to say, because it's so up to you. It's so up to your playstyle and all those things. This is going to be the easiest assist of my life. You deceive over war and just chuck your shiver people. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now, like, this is not a good situation for me to be in. Like, there's no point me trying to siege a tower of Shako. Shako is the worst champion for tower objectives or contesting tower objectives. He's really bad at sieging towers, and he's even worse at defending them. Because he's just got no wave clear, obviously. He's not ranged. He can't do anything, really, to help with these plays. So he's just terrible at it. Now, this is a bit of a sad play here, is my team fighting and getting caught out. And they run the entire enemy team right into me when I'm trying to 1v1 the dragon. Like I was saying, Shaco's dragon control is very good with your clone out. It's better when you have Mad Reds and Feral Flare, but still, you could see there I was easily able to do it myself, but it just takes a bit longer. I think I'm sitting on a butt ton of gold as well. Yeah, I've got like 2.3k. So, sadly, we lose that dragon there because we probably shouldn't have drawn the attention of the enemy team straight onto me during that dragon, considering I was kind of sneaking it away. But still, I used my smite early because I didn't really think that the enemy team was gonna. I thought I would be able to take it away, but I couldn't. And so, whatever mistakes were made across the board, I feel, and that kind of sucks. But still, I didn't die. Although it probably would have been worth me to secure the dragon and then to die as well. But still, I made the mistake to smite too early. The team made the mistake to draw the people over to my dragon. So it's mistakes for both of us. But like I say, I did build this Ram Scepter into a Blader and King. This means that I'm probably going to try and 1v1 people, or I'm going to try and have a lot of PvP impact this game. If I bought a Hydra, that would suggest that I was going to split push a bit more, not fight people as much, but we'll see what I do now. So a good part about playing Shako once you get out of the lane phase is to split push or to sit on a lane and try and do things. So that's what I'm going to do here. Like I said, Shako's very bad at sieging. So you either want to be split pushing, or you want to be 1v1ing people if you're strong enough to do that, or making Baron plays. So right now we're pushing down this side wave, but again, there's no real point me being here. Like if you look at what I'm like, this is kind of a siege, and look what I'm able to do. Like, spoiler, I can't do anything. Like I'm just pretty useless in this situation. So what I need to do is I'm just going to take away this wolf, because I've got my 80 gold from conservation stacked up. You don't really want to be sitting on 80 gold for too long. And I need to go where my team isn't going. Like, the only reason I'd want to be with my team right here is if I think they're going to fight and get caught out, so that I can then join them in the fight and help them. Because if they fight 4v5, that's going to be a bad situation. But I'm going to help my team by just split pushing here. Like, there's no point me trying to fight with them because we don't want to be fighting. There's no need to do that. I'm setting up myself as well here with some boxes as well, so that I can then have my escape routes all sorted out, or if I want to fight people, I can lure them into my boxes and stuff. Like, I need to be... I'm just preparing this split push. My team fights and they get caught and so they die. Although I did draw Kennen away onto me, which is pretty worth it. Like, if I can draw away a very heavy team fight impact champion like Kennen is, and have him try to defend the split push against me, then that's worth it, because my team should really be able to win a team fight. Like, that Kennen's going to have more impact than I am. Oops, sorry. That Kennen's going to have more impact than I am in a team fight, so that should really set up our team for a good fight. But now I'm still split pushing. Like, I'm a bit afraid of this Kennen, so I'm just trying to poke him down with shivs. I'm just trying to push this lane in. But I also need to keep my eye on the minimap for what my team's doing, because if they start running closer to me, then I need to get in position in order to fight and help them. Or if my team loses the fight and the enemy team starts coming over for me, I need to be in position to get the hell out of there, basically. So I'm just pushing out. I pushed out this bot lane. I should really be sticking on this lane, but I'm getting greedy and I'm looking at Kennen here. Am I going to kill him? Do I have my Ignite up? Okay, I have my Ignite up, so he's going to die. But is this really worth it? I suppose it is, because we kill Kennen. And now we get to push down this mid tower here. Maybe I should have been sticking onto this bot lane here, but it doesn't really matter because we're getting this push onto the mid instead. So that's fine. And a little tip as well about Shako boxes and inhibitors. Shako boxes do attack inhibs, but they don't trigger on inhibs. So if you're in a fight and say your box kills a minion, and there's an inhibitor up next, there's an inhibitor up as well, and your box is within range to attack it. And if your Box triggers on the minion, it will switch and then start attacking the inhib. And boxes do a lot of damage to inhibs, trust me, they do a huge amount. But if you put your box down just on the inhib, your box won't trigger and it won't attack the inhib. So that's a point to bear in mind. So this is just like a pretty standard team fight here. Maybe I should... Where am I? What am I doing? Okay. I'm going to run this through just normal speed here, and then I'm going to slow it down. I'm just going to explain what I did, because playing team fights with Shako is kind of hard. It's quite tricky, and I'm just going to... Like, don't kid yourself. Like, you're playing Shako, you're not going to carry team fights. Unless you're really fed and you can instantly burst the enemy AD. Like, the only way you can carry a team fight in Shako is if you instantly kill, like, an enemy carry or something like that. And the second best way to carry a team fight is... Where the hell am I? Here I am. The second best way is to kind of indirectly influence a team fight by making an enemy character not to be there, you know? So instead of insta-deleting someone, you just take them away from the fight. Now, I'm just leaving over this wall here to engage onto Yasuo. So this is how I'm engaging the fight. I know my team's around. I'm picking this good fight for my team. And I'm preemptively placing this box here. This is going to cut off this Yasuo's escape route. And look, he gets feared. That CCs him for a small amount of time. He dies. Like, the position of boxes is quite important when you're playing team fights. But it's also kind of hit or miss. Like, your boxes can make a big difference or they can be useless. But again, it's kind of hard to even predict where to put your boxes down, because sometimes it's just... You know, you can't tell where the enemy teams are going to be running. You can have a good guess, but you can't be sure 100%. So Thresh is a really nice hook. Flash hook, that's what I'm trying to say, onto Nami to engage the fight. However, Nami is not the best person to be initiating onto the fight. Vi realizes this may be a good time to go in, because I'm kind of low on mana, Thresh is really overextended, and Jarvan is quite low on health. So we'll see what I do here. I instantly put a box down, and then Thresh hooks her as well. What this does, I think I've just... Where the hell am I? I've lost myself. Oh, it's okay. I disappeared. I used my ult here as well. So I've started the fight by putting my ult out. This means that I want to use it for extra DPS. There's two ways you can use your ulti. You can either use your ulti to avoid a tick of damage, or like avoid a CC or something. So say you use your ulti and then you'll disappear for a split second. During that split second you've disappeared, you can avoid CC and stuff like that. So you can either use it defensively, or you just use it instantly to get more damage off, which is what I've done here. Now, Vi actually flashed onto this box as well, which feared her, which screwed her over even more. So she should die really, really quickly. And now it's kind of about controlling me and my clone in order to get most like effective damage off as possible. You can see my clone is just 100% going Rambo here. Like, my clone doesn't really want to survive, because if my clone dies, it will explode and it will hurt people, which is good. Like, you want to do that. So you can see I positioned him right at the front. Like, the enemy team doesn't know which one the real Shako is. Like, I don't have any buffs on me, and mana costs are both really low. It's really hard for these guys to tell which one is the real Shako here. So I just position it in the face of Vayne, so that she doesn't know who it is. She doesn't really have any choice but to focus down that Shako, because if she did try to run through my clone, it could have been me. It could have been the real Shako, and then it would have just turned around and killed her. So she had no choice but to focus down that clone, and the clone was kind of zoning her as well. So the clone got damage out. It did damage to people, and it zoned people as well. Wait, it got damage out and it did damage to people? That's kind of the same point. But yeah, so it wasn't like an amazing team fight. I didn't really do that much, but box positions was quite good. And also just to use your ult for damage, if you don't feel like you're going to use it to like negate some CC or something, just use it for damage. Now, the reason I'm not fighting right here with my team is because I have no mana. Like, there's no point me trying to fight this. I don't have any mana. I need to wait until I have a decent amount of mana so that I can get in and try and make a play. Like, maybe I should have gone in and fought with my team here, but we got an inhib. It's not a terrible play by any means. It's just the play I chose to make. This game is full of decisions. Like, whether or not that was the right decision is, even in hindsight, it's hard to say. But we got an inhib, so it could be a lot worse. You know, at least we got something out of it. If I tried to fight with my team and then been ineffective and not really being able to do something, which is what I felt would happen because I had no mana, then yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do anything, and we wouldn't have gone inhib either. Like, Shako does not have a very good team fight pressure anyway. So, yeah. The next item that I bought here is my Yumu's Ghostblade. Now, this build right now that I have is probably the best build you can have for 1v1ing people. The only way this build could be better is if I had a Feral Flare. Because Feral Flare, at this stage of the game anyway, would be a better item than Lizard, assuming I had stacked it up properly. But it would have also limited the impact I could have had in the early game. So whether or not it, yeah, I don't know. It just depends on your playstyle, I suppose. Because at this point in the game, if I had a decently stacked Feral Flare, obviously that would be much better than this Elder Lizard. But yeah, getting Blade Throne King and Yumu's is a really amazing 1v1 item build, because the actives just give you a huge boost in power. You just take someone down really, really quickly. It's really, really nice for that. You can see as well that I bought a pink ward. This means that I can place it down. Like, I could do two things with this pink ward. Either I could place it down and, like I have here, just to secure like my split pushing area. Although I don't really need to split push in bot, but still. Or I could use it when I'm fighting versus Vayne when she's gone into her ulti, so that I can 1v1 her without getting juked by her invisibility. However, I do also have my upgraded sweeper. So I'm not going to get juked by her invisibility as long as my sweeper is up. So I don't really need the pink ward for that. So because my team isn't fighting just yet, there's no reason to not do these walls. So I'm just going to take these away. And then I'm going to look to see, like right here, this is probably what I want to be getting in on, or trying to get in on anyway. But because we have 2 inhibitors down, well, we don't anymore, that just respawn. But because we got a lot of their base down, there's not really a place for me to split push anymore. So I can just try and keep pressure on them, try and take away inhibs if they respawn, like here. Like right now, this may be a good example of. See, right here, I use my ulti to dodge array Yasuo's ulti. So I'm just going to take away this inhib. I'm going to walk on Kennen. I tried to steal the kill, but I fail. And then my clone actually killed Yasuo, I think. Oh no, Thresh killed Yasuo. Thank you, Thresh. And this is kind of like, I'm soaking up so much stuff here, and I die from Vi. But if they use all that stuff for me, like Yasuo was fighting me, Vi was fighting me, and Nami did stuff to me as well, that's fine if I die. I just want to rewind a bit because I'm pretty sure I saw my box attacking this. I want to like slow it down and see what happens. So I use my ulti to dodge away the cyclone or the tornado from Yasuo. That means he can't ult onto me, because I don't want him to engage with his ulti, because not only is that going to make me take a huge chunk of damage, it's also going to give him the armor pen bonus to kill me. But I'm also keeping my eye on my Akali friend here as well. So I put a box down next to me, which will protect me if I ever decide to fight around here. Oh wow, my box did aggro on the inhib. Why is that? I lied. Right, so I put my box down, and then just kind of try and get in onto this cannon after his ult has run out. There's no point me running in while his ulti is up, and while Yumu's is up. Not Yumu's, sorry, while his Zhonya's is up as well. So right now, I should probably be using my Yumu's too, but I kind of feel like it's unnecessary against this Yasuo, because he's dead anyway. So I'm still kind of focusing down this inhib, but I don't really know why I'm doing that. This is actually a mistake by me. I don't know why I'm still attacking this inhib. I don't need to get the inhib right now, because if I kill the players, then like this, not only do we could get this inhib and we could win the game. So there's no point. And now after Jarvan has died, I become the next target for this Vi CC. Did I just get bubbled? Yeah, I did get bubbled. Why am I still attacking? Boom. I get slapped in the face. Oh, okay. We can blame Lucian. We can blame Lucian for that. Lucian, you healed too late. Nah. I just got destroyed by CC. I played that fight really. I was too focused on this inhibitor. I don't know why. But I also saw that my box triggered onto the inhib while it was up. Like, there was nothing else that triggered onto the box. So I don't know why that happened. Is this game over? Yeah, this game's over. Okay, so this game's over, but I really want to rewind just to see what happened last time when I was fighting the inhib and my box didn't aggro onto it. Like, am I just crazy? Let's see what happens here. Like, I may be completely wrong here. No, okay, that's really weird. So my box doesn't trigger onto this inhib, but it did trigger onto the last inhib. I'm really not sure why that is. That's really peculiar. And let me just check to see. Like, let's see how long does it have to trigger? Like, it should be triggering right now. Like, yeah, it's not like it didn't even have enough time to trigger. They had more than enough time to go off. I don't understand why that is. That's really strange. But yeah, so sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't, apparently. So there we go. I learned something new today as well. The fact that well, I don't know what I learned. I'm just still really confused. We're going to skip through this terrible team fight. We all know I suck in this team fight. But yeah, that's the end of this commentary, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this showed some more tactics about Shako, and specifically like the power of counter-ganking and kind of your decision making about what you want to do after that lane phase. Like after you snowball the lane phase, whether just thinking about your win conditions as to regarding whether that's split pushing, 1v1ing people, that kind of thing. I don't know, I didn't do perfectly for controlling the dragons and the barons. I did kind of well early, but after that I fell off on that. I dropped the ball a little bit, but still a relatively good game to display on Shako. This was even though it was on my Smurf account, this still is like high diamond level, so still high level competition here. But thanks so much for watching this commentary, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Come catch me on my Facebook and my Twitter as well. And like I say, this was a streamed game, so if you want to see more games, if you want to see these kind of games live, then you should follow my stream as well. But all those things are in the description, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching again, and I will see you in my next video.